Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here at Actor Slash today. Thank you as well for all the people that are joining right now on Facebook. I see a lot of people from Mexico, from here from the US, and a couple people internationally. Thank you so much. So my name is Vange Tapia, and I'm an actor slash producer slash founder of Actor Slash. And I'm very excited today because I have three not only beautiful, but incredibly talented dancers. And I want you guys to meet them. I'm going to go in alphabetical order so it's easier for me to remember, but they are equally talented, equally beautiful, and great friends. So let's give it a virtual round of applause to my first guest. She is Mexican Spanish. Her name is Liliana Ruiz, and she has been a dancer since she was a young girl. And I'm very excited to have Lili today. So welcome, Lili. Hola.
Hola, Vange.
Hola,
how are you?
Good.
Good. I'm here. Thank you for having me here.
I'm very excited they're here finally because Lili's family, they're all talented. It's amazing. She has a musician brother and then another brother that has nothing to do with the music, but he's equally
He's a great badminton player.
He's a
sports person. He's a marathonist.
And actually, he's a great dancer. He's the one who will go and just crash in every single dance floor and will dance everything. He has a lot of rhythm. In fact, when I got to dance with him, I'm like, okay, wait, I'm done. And he's just like never tired. That I remember. Probably not professionally like Lili, but he's a dancer, we'll say. Lili, since we're two now, please help me introduce our next guest. My next guest is actually Italian. She is an incredibly talented actress. She has portrayed dancers while acting, and she has won many awards. She lives now in Los Angeles, California, but today, particularly today, she is connecting from Hawaii, where she is taking a vacation. And she is so awesome because she's like, don't worry, I'll find the time. She's on the top of a volcano right now on a Jeep, you'll see. And she's just trying to get the best signal so she can be with all of you guys. So please help me welcome Paola Calliari. Paola, hola, Pao.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. I told you she's in the Jeep.
Hola, Vange.
You made it. Yay. I'm so excited.
I made it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me again. It's so nice to be here virtually, but it's nice.
Yeah, it is the second time I have you here. The first time was in person. Normally, before the pandemic, Actors Lash will reunite in theaters, in film festivals, and the Mexican consulate, who's so kind to let us come and showcase our work. But Pao and Lili, now help me introduce my last guest. Ever the last ones will be the first ones, we say in Mexico. She's a beautiful, gorgeous, just as these two ladies, talented choreographer, professional dancer, of course. And I met her through Bruno Bichir, which is a great actor in Mexico and a director. And I was just very impressed with her work because Bruno made a play here in Los Angeles that he directed it, that transition from past to present. So my next guest, she's a Russian lady who's been all over. And she worked her magic to choreography the movements of the actors so they can move from past to present in a way that everybody understood without even having to even say it. We're like, oh, we're rewinding, we're fast forwarding. Now we're in the present. So that's how I met her. This is the second time I invite her, and she is amazing. Please help me welcome Olga Sokolova. Olga, hola.
Thank you so much, Vange, for your beautiful story on my background. And it's a pleasure meeting all of you, very talented people. Thank you for having me a part of this interview.
I'm very excited to have you all. And again, I do apologize. Really, I had Pao, you've been before. I do these videos that are rendered and I upload them naturally. Facebook won't do it today. Well, it happens. But anyway, we're here and I'll make justice when we share it on YouTube and Instagram. So to begin with, I would like to talk with you ladies about when did you decide that you wanted to be a dancer? Were you always great dancers since you were young? Maybe you wanted to be a singer, but then you decided that you dance better? Or how did this happen? Lili, you want to start and tell us a little bit?
Yeah. Well, when I was around 5 or 6 years old, I started dancing classical ballet, which I studied ballet for many years. But it was one time that I was at school. I studied in the Colegio Madrid, and I was in a verbena. It was a kind of a festival. And I saw people dancing flamenco. I was around 9 years old, 10. And when I saw the dancers, I told my mom, Mommy, I want to do this. I love this. And once I started dancing flamenco, I never stopped. I really liked it. I continued my ballet my classical ballet, but I started to be a little more active in classical Spanish dance and then eventually flamenco.
But wait, your family are Spanish, and I remember in your wedding, do you guys remember that amazing movie, like that British movie, Love Actually, which is like British? Remember how the movie starts that there's a couple getting married, or I think it's in the middle at the end. There's a couple getting married, and then suddenly the musicians kicked in from all over the public. That was pretty much Lily's wedding, except all Spanish. Like people from all ages, her parents, her uncles, her friends, they all were like dancing and playing music. I was like, this is a fabulous wedding show. So you like your family, your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt, they were all dancing Spanish.
Well, we were dancing Las Sevillanas, which is pretty international. If you know how to dance Sevillanas, you can dance Sevillanas wherever you go in the world because it's an international dance. And yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
So that's how it it is in your family. It's like going to a wedding and then they play La Macarena and everybody knows the steps and you dance it, except these guys know like 500, they have a 50 repertoire songs under their belt. So that's fantastic. So all over in your family, your mom also, they also dance, or who was first?
Yeah. My mom used to dance with me when I signed up to start the flamenco and to start the classical Spanish dance with the school of Pilar Rioja and the Riojas. She signed up with me and my auntie as well. So the three of us, we were going to the class and we were dancing together, and it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. I really enjoyed that time. Yeah, and I started dancing professionally when I was almost 13 years old. That was my first paid trip and paid show. And since then, I've been dancing professionally and learning a lot, always.
Good. You will never stop, right?
No.
And how about you, Paola? You are, I was just telling Paola that in Mexico we have the name, and the short name of the sweet name is Pao, but she says in Italy they don't say Pao. It's just
no, but that's fine. It's totally fine with me. Oh, it's cute. So I actually started pretty late because I did gymnastics. I was a gymnast till I was 15 years old, and then I had a couple of accidents and I had to stop. But I started dancing and studying ballet very late. I was 14 years old, and because of all the muscles I had, that there were more of gymnastics muscles, then it was pretty difficult for me. So I kind of went more into contemporary dance, and that's what I kept on doing with years and what I studied. And I started dancing at the same time of acting. So for me, I always kept the two. I never was able to give one the priority over the other. Then life just brought the chances, and life just decided over time. But one of the reasons why I started dancing or moving is I have this quote. When I was 3 years old, I told my grandfather died, and told my mom, I was like, oh, how boring must be just being in the grave and not being able to move. Because for me, it was such I had an urge, a need to move, to move the body and feel the body, feel myself within my body. So that's pretty much it.
Actually, I'm very glad that you're talking about that, because you started as an actress and then you did that transition, and then we just show a little bit of your reel. Last year, when I have you an Actor Slash as my guest, we share a section. I don't know if you saw Paola dragging herself and then having difficulty and doing. That's part of a short film which has been in different festivals, called The Green Room, which is about Paola's way to represent and honor her father. You want to talk about that, The Green Room, and why you came up with that short film? It's all a dance and it's beautiful. It's a poem. Too bad we don't have the time. It's about 3 minutes long, but it's very touching, and there is a huge meaning behind it.
Thank you. Yeah. So my father got sick with dementia almost 7 years ago, I would say now. And, it's always been difficult to accept the situations. And at the same time, I was doing really well with my acting career. But I came to the point that I was not happy with what I was doing. And I needed to find I wanted to be the one creating, not always being under other people's creating pieces for me, or being in the movie, So I was missing me creating something. And I remember being in Edinburgh at the Fringe Festival, and I saw so many talented artists doing their own creations. And I was like, I got a lot of inspiration by that. And then I moved to LA the next month, and I just decided that I was going to do something like a short dance film. And it came out thanks to a dear friend of mine who's a director. And we just decided to do this together. And it started as an etude, as a study, but then it came out pretty well that we decided to edit it well and submit it to festivals. And I'm currently actually writing the feature, which is not that easy because you want to put choreography in it. It's not that easy to write a dance film, but yeah, it came from my need to tell a story, basically. And I thought that dance was the best way because right now with my father, I can't really have a dialogue because of the dementia. So it's mainly through gestures and moves or, when you look at him in the eyes, or through gestures that you get the essence of what is going on. So, and I think that's what dance does. It goes beyond words, beyond talking. So that was the most powerful thing I thought I could do.
It is very touching. I just remember the reaction of the public that we did at the Mexican consulate, remember? And we all were like, because I remember you mentioned there was a moment that you do it on your film, that he will just like confuse plants with toilets. And it was just very, very important for you to do this. And it's amazing. And you also have portrayed dancers in different acting gigs, and you even won an award last year for representing a real dancer, correct? That has helped you in your acting.
Yeah, I was actually danced a lot in my acting career because the main two lead roles that I had were portraying dancers. So the directors were looking for actors, but also dancers that they didn't need to use doubles. And I was lucky enough to to get the parts. One movie was the Startup, Accendito Futuro. It's an Italian. They're both Italian movies, and I had the honor to receive the Chineo Diamanti al Cinema Awards at the Venice Biennale in 2017. And then the other movie is L'età imperfetta, Imperfect Age, and it's also about dance. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I was never. Now it's a little bit different, but I was not really able to, choose one over the others because I thought that I could also use them together, put them together. And when I dance, I like a lot to interpret it, like to use my acting skills. I don't want it just to be about movement. I want it to have something that has to do with energy and emotions, that I can portray those ones, that it goes beyond just physical movement.
Yeah, I can see that, and congratulations. I'm very glad that you're using it in different ways. And how about you, Olga? I just don't know if you guys noticed that at the beginning of her reel, and I'm probably gonna play a little bit, all of them a little bit after. She's actually dancing in front of a real condor, which when the condor opens its wings, it's probably bigger than Olga. And can just grab her and take her and fly away. But instead, he was with his wings open, smoothing his head, looking at her dancing, like hypnotized, and then he took off. It's very impressive that she is so in love with ancient culture. She has lived in Latin America many times. In fact, she was just telling us, Lini and I, that she's going to Mexico tomorrow. You want to tell us about how you started?
I'm sharing lots of similarities with Paola here. I have started dance pretty late as well, when I was 15. And I started as a rhythmic gymnast. And I studied classical ballet in Russia, which were the most popular activities and art forms in Soviet Union Russia. So everyone was doing gymnastics or classical ballet. So I started with that, reached to so what's called in sports Masters of Sport, and I competed internationally as a rhythmic gymnast. And then the injuries started happening because it's a very, very extreme sport. It's very tough on body. And once competing in Europe, I saw couple contemporary dance companies for the first time. Living in Russia, contemporary dance was not anywhere popular. It was something very surreal and futuristic for us. It was at that moment developing strongly in Europe. So when I was competing in Spain, in Barcelona, I watched a couple companies, and then I witnessed Pina Bausch company as well performing live. So I was looking at the movement, and it put me in such a deep shock. I tried to understand people moving backwards, inside out, defying any gravity laws. So it was very fascinating. It was impressive, and it took me one day to decide I don't want to compete. I want to dedicate my life to this type of movement. It looks very cool. It involves muscles that I didn't knew exist in my body. And I transitioned into contemporary dance and started to study more classical ballet as well. I had to move to Europe. And as Paola said, it's quite a process. There is a certain mentality when you're in sports, and then you have to transition into dance. And there is a certain build to your body that you have to rebuild. Pretty much, you just have to start from scratch. When you enter dance world, you think you have flexibility and strength, you have line, and you can do well in dance. It takes some time to rebuild, to re-understand, to understand the nature of contemporary or classical dance movement. So that's been a process. And I want to apologize for the sounds behind. We have a construction going on at our neighbor's house. So if you see some sounds, it's the construction. I apologize.
That's perfectly fine. Don't worry. I mean, after I wasn't able to connect and I shared my video. So today is the day that we're improvising, no problem. So I want to know, Lily and Olga, you ladies also have your own academy. You also teach, and you've been doing this for the longest time. In fact, I remember Lily back in Mexico City. She had her own little studio at home next to the garage, which was pretty big. How many people could you get there? I remember my friend Gisela took classes with you, and she went perform and everything.
Yeah, I had around 70 to 75 people taking the classes at that time. But before we go on that, I wanted to say that I can relate to you both, because lately I've been doing more than only dances. I've been doing stories. And actually last year I was able to choreograph into Picasso, Azul, with different companies, with theater. And it's another thing, because it's not only doing a sequence or a routine, or a dance itself, but you are involved in a full story. And last year I was able to produce and to present 2 times the Seasons of the Soul, because the same way I had an accident, I lost a partner, and it inspired me to see how you fall and how you have to get up, and how you have to face life. And I'm doing it through dancing and through music and through expressing everything in a routine, but in a play, more than only just dances itself, so it's pretty cool. I think I can see where your energy goes all into not only the steps, but the story behind, which that has a lot of earth. So then having earth and having that inner in you, you can project it in another way, because you're feeling it. It's not that you're just doing movement, you're putting it to a story. And most likely we usually do stories that they fit somehow our lives, or something that has touched lives in other moments, which has been, for me, has been a little touchy as well, finishing a dance and seeing people maybe in tears. But it's because inside of myself, I am in tears. That's what I'm feeling, or I am extraordinarily passionate about something and it's the fast part, and I can see people going like that. So it's nice to be able to do choreographies not only for a specific dance, but when it is in a play, and when you can put a little bit more than only movements and sequences and choreographies itself. So yeah, I have my company. My company is Suspiro Flamenco. I started the company Suspiro Flamenco since 2012, 2013. I have live musicians, Blaine Bostock, my guitarist, Donna Bostock, the percussionist, Grayson Suber is the classical guitar player. I have a singer, Yolanda Aguinaga, and I have Marlena Gal, who plays the cello at this moment. And I have had other artists participating in the company. And right now, Suspiro Flamenco, like in many other countries and places, we have to go virtual, because still in Philadelphia, we're not being able to be in some of the studios, and some people are still really scared of going to a studio or to a gym. But yeah, Suspiro Flamenco, and actually I'm going to have another virtual show coming up in December 6th, and I will share details with everything. Yes. Mm-hmm. With REC. REC is a company that helps and supports all the performing arts in Philadelphia.
Yeah, if you why don't you just also tell us where can they find you?
Oh yeah, I usually post everything in Facebook, Suspiro Flamenco in Facebook, or Liliana Ruiz in Facebook, and I also have a website where I post all my shows, www.suspiroflamenco.com.
And that's where you will be able to find all the information about the show that she's going to be having on Facebook. So don't miss out, and we'll be there watching.
Yes, it'll be great. Yes.
So Olga, you also teach with your academy that you partner with someone, right?
I have an assistant, a beautiful dancer, choreographer that I brought here from Cuba. I helped him out to establish himself here as an artist, and we work together now. It's been a wonderful experience to have such a strong technical dancer from Cuba here helping me out. Beautiful, beautiful artist. And yeah, and that is the video from the studio I teach from.
Oh, okay.
And here is us just experimenting on some movement.
Okay, so I thought you were the guy who helped you. You want to tell us the name of the studio?
The name of the studio is Anna Cheselka Dance Center. That's where I rent the space, and my project is called Art Code Dance.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're at the studio, and then they have different projects, and yours is one.
Yes.
But you're doing a lot of tours right now. You're planning on going to Mexico City tomorrow. You have done tons of workshops internationally. You go very often to Mexico. You do speak the language very well. Before we went streaming live, she was just talking to us in Spanish with Lily and I, and it's very clear, and we could understand. So how often do you do these classes?
I try to teach classes personally here when I have energy and I'm inspired for it. I don't force myself to become a teacher right now who dedicates all of the time to just an education. I feel like there is a lot of space in me that needs to be educated as well internationally and in so many different directions and aspects of cultures and spirituality and body and nature of the movement. So I am still a student myself. Before I consider myself a teacher, I think I have to do a lot of the job as a student to be able to give something valuable to future artists, because I've been moving away myself from mainstream dance industry long time ago. And I, in fact, try to educate parents, first of all, on how important it is to right now focus on the quality of the movement rather than fame of performing in competitions, dance competitions, and trying to be all over the place in social media, TikToking, some things that I don't resonate with personally. I think the world is evolving, but I think that also we should us as influencers, educators, we need to look a little bit deeper and try to give them something more valuable that they can take further and somehow influence this world and possibly change something.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. It's so pretty. And the kind of students that you ladies have are all ages, right? From kids. I didn't want to share any videos with children because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube and Facebook. But I saw a lot of children on both on your pages, on your Instagram and your handles. You want to tell us where can you be found, Olga?
I can be found, first of all, on Instagram. I'm the most active on Instagram. When I am not traveling, when I have free time on Instagram, you can find me as Olga Dances. And you can find me as Olga Sokolova on Facebook, where I'm a little bit less spending my free time. But yeah, those are 2 pages.
And how about for your dancing project?
And my dancing project page is Art Code Dance.
You'll see a lot of that's more like in the teaching aspect. So you on both of them because they're awesome. And Paola, you are also an instructor, but your type of instruction is a little different. I'm gonna share a little bit. You wanna tell us how to hold this?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, I'm so excited to be with Liliana and Olga. It's amazing what they're doing and what they said. I really connect to them. So I just wanted to say this. And so I'm also an instructor of gyrotonic and gyrokinesis, and the video you're showing is me on the gyrotoner machine. It's one of the gyrotonics machines, and gyrotonics was created by Julio Harvarth. He was a professional ballet dancer, and he created this system so that he could help with the quality of movement and for everybody. At first was for dancers, right? So that they could heal from their injuries. But I teach this in a chiropractor facility, and I do this with 8 years old kids to people who are 90 years old, to adults, and and it helped a lot for my dance, for my movements, to learn more of organic movements, how to move with quality, as Olga was saying, instead of whatever showing off, but more being careful with the quality and being respectful of the body, which is so different coming from ballet, maybe, And it's something that I've been doing a lot here now that I'm in Los Angeles. And I try to bring that into my movements or choreography.
It's amazing, and also looks pretty much like, for dancing and for any kind of activity, it also looks like a healing, like a physical therapy almost.
It is used as a physical therapy in a lot of chiropractor places, facilities, but yeah, definitely. I started it because I used to have a lot of injuries as a dancer. To my feet, and then I also broke my foot, and it helped a lot. When I broke my foot, I had to start everything from zero. So it's like I couldn't walk for like almost 3 months, and I couldn't dance for a year, and then you find yourself with no muscles, and you just need to learn everything from zero. And that actually gave me a chance to connect more to my body and not just push through it, but just more listen to it. And gyrotonics helps a lot because you need to breathe a lot with it, and it's very much for healing, as you said.
And yeah, I saw another video that it was also with exercises with the hands, but I couldn't steal it from the internet. But yeah, I was very impressed. I was like, what is this? How long have you been doing this?
Pretty much 8 years. I started 8 years ago, so it's been a long time. Yeah. And teaching it a little bit less because I've been teaching lately, mostly because of because of the current situations and everything. But I used to do it also while I was, more performing or working as an actress. That would help me as an artist just to connect to myself and my body more.
I'm very happy that you're saying that because a lot of people like me who I was born with two left feet, and I have not very much rhythm. I mean, I like dancing and everything, but I am not really that good. But I like dancing, and I'm not pursuing and becoming any professional. But I love to take classes. What would be the advice for someone not like me, but someone who really pursued dancing? Like, how do you create your own YouTube? You record your own videos? Obviously, you train. How many hours a day do you ladies train, or a week?
Well, I also, before I start talking about that, I wanted to say that the studio that you show, since the other people, my other colleagues, my other dancers here share the name, that studio that you showed is Soundspace Studio. It's a beautiful studio here in Philadelphia. It's big, and I'm very thankful that I was able to do the flamenco dancing in Philadelphia because there's not a lot of places or not a lot of studios. So I really thank the Soundspace Studio in Philly.
So maybe the
Soundspace Studio, they do Irish and they do tap. Actually, they are specialized in tap dancers. And they invited me to have flamenco, which I'm really, really thankful because that way I was able to get more people in Center City. Since I live in the suburbs, I was able to bring more people to learn flamenco in Philadelphia, which is not very popular. So yes, thanks that we had that studio. And I wish I could help a little bit more the studio because now with COVID, it's hard. So many of the students don't want to go on site and others wants to do it in Zoom. And then I had little kids that it was really hard to keep their attention via Zoom. My niece, and, hey, where are you? I cannot see you. I'm texting the moms. Hey, I cannot see your daughter. So it was, well, training. I exercise. I love exercising. I relate with you guys. I like jogging. I like do cardio. I skip the rope. I keep myself into having good breathing. But when it comes to shows, I have to rehearse every day. And same thing. I had an accident years ago, and it was a heartbreaking because I couldn't see myself saying I'm going to get over this and I'm going to get back. But now that I'm back, I have to stretch a lot, and I have to, when the body says you have to stretch, you stretch it. And when you feel sore, you have to do something because your body speaks. And if you train it well, then you will be stronger. If I am in a show, which I'm constantly in shows, I do rehearse almost every day. Even if rehearsing is not always doing something hard and something that is going to be burning you. You can rehearse in many ways because it's your body. Your body is going to talk through your movements. So the more you're in control of your body, you control your body and your body doesn't control you. And then you decide what you want to do and what is the intention that you want to give through your body. So to do that, you have to be rehearsing. And it takes time because you have to be comfortable. And I have a theory. I do the exercises as many times as until I feel comfortable and I can see that I'm transmitting what I want to with my movement. It's not just the step, it's the step. It's where you want to put it, where you want to end it, where is the angle, where is the strength of your movement, what is coming through you. But that needs training, and that needs discipline, a lot of discipline. And sometimes like everything, you don't feel going by yourself to the studio because it's hard. But once you're there, you forget about it. It's just getting there and saying, here I am. And with the music, sometimes when I go jogging, I get inspired. I play the same song 25,000 times because then I'm seeing. That's why to write choreography is really hard, but to be putting it into your mind and creating it out of nothing, you have to have your own style. And I do it usually when I go jogging or when I do another exercise. So I'm just freely thinking about what I'm going to do. And then rehearse. If you want to pursue something like that, you have to be disciplined and you have to go to the studio and rehearse.
So you've been hired as a choreographer as well. I mean,
yes,
you're a choreographer. That's good to know. I didn't know that. That's very good.
Yes. In El Teatro Insurgentes, I did my first choreography in a level like that, in the play Los Gorilas, El Rey de los Gorilas. Uh-huh. So that was years ago, but since then I've been doing choreographies and I've been helping with theater. Now I'm working with people in the theater, which I was able to choreograph the play Azul, which was the life of the blue era of Picasso by Tana Kiel Marquez. Here in Philadelphia, we were here for 2 different seasons for quite a nice time. And not that I want to say it, but the reviews were really nice and I felt really proud of it. So because we worked really hard. So yes, it was challenging.
And I saw on your Instagram account that you were, I don't know if you were performing or it was a class, but you were definitely dancing with other people and everybody was masked up. Like COVID didn't stop you. Everybody had a mask.
Oh, yes. Yeah, well, because our last show, we were able to rehearse outside, but when we had to go to the studio, if you're going to be live, you want to have a space where you're not going to have noise, where you're going to be able to give a transmission with certain quality. So we were masked because we were afraid. Yeah. To simply be responsible, and that's what we're doing. So
I felt very happy when I saw that. I was like, yeah, they really.
I danced with a screen. I danced with a shield the entire show. I nearly staple it to my head because with the movement of the head, I thought that the shield, when I was rehearsing, the shield sometimes just blew. Go and grab it. So yes, but we have to be responsible so we can get rid of these virus.
Well done, Lily. I'm very happy to hear.
Thank you.
And how about you, Paola? What would be the advice that you would give to the new emerging?
I agree with Liliana. If you decide to pursue dance, it's something you want to do daily, somehow, in every way, right? Because the body needs to be trained, the body needs to be ready, and it doesn't mean like you have to do every day, like 6 hours, 3 hours. And I'm not saying that. Though when I was dancing like constantly or with a company or performing, I would dance 3 to 4 hours a day, is even more. But you as an artist, I would say, besides dancing, go to a museum, read a book, go and in the nature, try to get inspiration from something else so that you can feel yourself as a dancer, as an artist, and you can bring that into your dance. So it's not just about the technique, which takes years and times, and it's once you have it, it's wonderful. But my advice is also to fill your soul with things that you can then bring into your movements. But definitely, yes, if you decide to pursue, dancing, then yeah, it's a lot of discipline and a lot of patience and a lot of work. When I was dancing more and with performances, I would do every day, like my class, something. If it wasn't ballet, I would do like a contemporary class. or even yoga helped me a lot. And that is also because when you get into class and you meet other people and you dance other choreographies, it's good to enrich yourself and to learn. You're always going to learn something from other people, so it's always good to keep yourself active and ready to, you know, learn something new. Now it's a little bit less because I'm more teaching, so I would say no, I don't want to say that. Less than when I used to perform was like every day though.
Like right now, you're in Hawaii, uh, like you're on vacation. Are you exercising?
I I am exercising because it's a something that I need. I cannot say like I cannot have my body just to be lazy. It feels bad. So I would go for a run. I would have a HIIT class, like a high intensity training class, or some yoga, you know, classes. I took some 2-3 days off, of course, because it's my vacation. But you know, you always want to keep your body move. It's healthy. It's for everybody. It's not just for dancers.
I've been off for a couple of months. But I'll get back, hopefully. And how about you, dear Olga? I can see in the bag that you have, oh my God,
My ballet bar.
your ballet.
Mm.
What would be your advice? How many hours a day do you rehearse or you train, or what do you do on your daily basis to keep up?
On my daily basis, I try to prioritize a health from within first. As Paola mentioned, um, we have to pay attention what's going on inside, spiritually, psychologically. So definitely educating myself from within, listening to my internal self. So meditation is something that is the ultimate longevity for a dancer's body for myself. Meditation in a slow movement or Tai Chi. I have been practicing Qigong for several years now. That is a really beautiful tool to recover and restore energy or any injuries, past injuries from gymnastics or from contemporary dance when I was very actively dancing. Right now, stretching, I believe as well, it is one of the most important activities that keep me active and keep me in a good shape. Diet, we are what we eat, we are what we think. And I have a wonderful influence in my life. My men have influenced me a lot in the way I look at my nutrition. So that helps a lot as well, and how my flexibility works, how my body works in general. I think flexibility is a very important aspect of a healthy body. A mobile, good mobility, mobile, flexible body is more so healthy body. Strength is one thing, it's a great balance. And gyrotonics, Pilates, yoga, any of this is just a beautiful practice to stay strong and mobile at the same time. Yeah. But as also Paola mentioned and Liliana mentioned, practicing, I can't myself, I do it every single day. I stretch when I feel the necessity to stretch. I move here and there when I feel the necessity to get my blood flowing. I also teach a lot, and when I teach, I try to teach full out, so I exercise myself as well, sometimes for a few hours a day. Yeah, but I like to also mentally dance. I am inside of my internal universe a lot, exploring my movement and my body.
So you visualize your movement.
I visualize a lot. I experience a lot through my internal world, and I time travel a lot. I experiment with spiritual aspects of our existence here, and at the same times in many other places.
I have a question for you, ladies. We're coming towards the end, but there's a question. Do you warm up first, like meaning you walk or you do, or you stretch first? What's recommended?
Well, I do both. I warm up. I'm sorry. I warm up. I stretch depending on your body. I think. Go ahead, Paola. Go.
Sorry, Liliana.
No problem.
For me, it's like when I start waking up my body, I move, but it has to be with, so the stretching, it shouldn't be too static most of the time. What I believe is you should. I did a lot of Gaga when I studied in Israel, and that also connected a lot with the gyrotonics system. For me, it's like I move stretching. Like I don't want to stretch and stay there in the movement because then you lose the motion. So I try to wake up my body moving, listening to it, but with movements that are not, like this kind, but more
Warming it
fluid.
up.
Yeah,
So maybe at the end of everything, then maybe I would like go on my pigeon poses and sit there at the end of it. But yeah, to start, I would do slowly stretching while moving. If you can see that.
I guess there are so many different forms to start your body. I like a passive warm up as well when you concentrate your energy. It has to do with Qigong practices, with the breathing. You can pretty much warm up your body sitting in one pose and start sweating. You build up your Qi and your body becomes ready to be elastic and flexible and mobile. I also like to start with the soft movement, more so internal movement rather than external, explosive, more so movement of my center, what I would call moving around my center, and that would get my blood flow. I like to stretch before I go to sleep. That is the most effective stretch for me, and I think it helps me to get rid of soreness, and it also helps my joints to stay mobile.
Is it recommended to stretch when you're waking up from bed? Can you do that?
You definitely can do that. Not a very extensive stretch, not a very profound stretch. I think the light stretches, the light movement, again, because you're waking up your body, you need to go slow into it, because when I practiced ancient Asian forms of movement and martial arts, it's all done 4 a.m. when the sun is rising. That's where you collect the most energy, the most prana, you're charging yourself, and that's how you pretty much get the power for the day. But also I enjoy stretching, which is more relaxing at night, and it helps you to sleep. It helps you to relax your mind and your body. So I think it's also a personal thing for every single body, for a type of person you are, your activities, your spirit, your nature. It all starts there.
Well, ladies, we came through the end of this great conversation. I really appreciate all of your times. Apparently, I had my mic disconnected, so I was talking from the camera's mic and people couldn't hear me. I hope you did. But I really want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for everyone who joined. Follow Actress Slash. I can be found on actressslash.com. All the handles on social media are Actress Slash. Make sure you have 2 letter S in the middle because actors is plural. And you can also find me at vangetapia.com. And my social media, all my handles are also vangetapia. And thank you again, Lily, Paola, Olga, for your time. You're really an inspiration, and your time and your advice, it's highly appreciated. I really thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Vange.
Bye.
Bye.
Gracias.
Bye, girls.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.